Subscribers, your video is ready. Hello, LGBTQ plus DO men, women who secretly love us and support us. And if you don't identify with any of those labels, you're still free to subscribe to the channel. And that's on Mary having a little lamb and the 3 little mooses. Anyway, I thought that I'd change it up for today because, yes. So, as y'all can see, I have the Tyson chicken, and I also have the Morningstar chicken, and I have the homemade fries as I did the other video, and then I got the Idaho potatoes. I can't even remember the brand name on them, but I just know when I look at them and I see them, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the fries that I like. But anyway, y'all, I said for this video, in the previous video, that I would speak about how I started back eating meat again, which I've spoken about, but I also want to incorporate some things related to numerology in this video. And so let's get right into it. So, a lot of times I would notice that people that eat meat, especially pork, would be coughing or sneezing and things like that. It's just like I have, because we're all human. But I noticed a I don't know why I said I noticed. I think I was trying to say I noticed that with eating plant-based, it was less of that as I started to, fast and things like that. And so, my music hopefully is not too much for y'all, but I noticed that there was this more healthier feeling, like when other people would be sounding very like congested, I wasn't sounding congested. And now I notice that even with my health now, after I have started eating meat and I have gained weight, that there's this heavier soundingness to my voice and like this out of breath type of sound. So I am going to soon have to focus on, probably my weight. But what I also wanted to say is that it's really simple how I started back eating meat, but in the same sense, it's not. When I went to jail in the year of 2021, I have been fasting previously before then. And my fasting had become kind of there was an addictive pattern to my fasting. But if I hadn't have done fasting the way that I did, I wouldn't have understood the spirituality or the spiritual experience behind that. Like, I wouldn't have understood how some people were... No, I think this is the better thing to say. I wouldn't have understood how God is in control of the way that we experience our health. I think that's the best way to explain it. The reason that I say that is because, well, first, let's speak about, I had an addictive pattern of fasting. And when I say addictive, like, I knew that Dr. Sebi spoke about people being able to fast for 90 days and then focusing on eating foods to cure the part of the body that they needed to cure. And my fasting wasn't really self-inflicted, I guess you can say. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. I just kind of felt as if the universe was the only source of like abundance that I could receive. And like when I say that, what I mean is that because I didn't have a job and because I had people in my life that were telling me, oh, you got to get a job, or, you know, just not being, if they weren't able to support me, I just felt like I didn't want it to be labeled as a burden, even though I later on was labeled as a burden by a family member. I realized that some of these things that were coming up, they were because I felt these things internally. And you may have heard that your thoughts, feelings, and emotions create your reality. So whatever you're feeling in the inside is also reflected back to you in your 3D experience. Anyway, because I wasn't asking for things and I was eating more plant-based and things like that, there were times where there wasn't food for me to eat and I wasn't asking for food. So I was being labeled as, oh, he doesn't want to eat. He doesn't, and I wouldn't say labeled as that, but these are things that I heard. Like, oh, he doesn't want to eat. He's not eating. No. That wasn't it. Even, and the reason I say this is because even when I was in jail in the year of 2021, I openly spoke to the hospital nurse because, and I was there because I was dehydrated at the time. And so, and that was another thing. I didn't want anything to do with modern day medicine. So them hooking me to the IV, it was kind of stressful because I didn't want to have that inside my body. But I was dehydrated. The water I was regurgitating because it was, of course, on the back of the toilet, in the fountain, just the fountain water. And I drank alkaline water prior to going to jail. It was like feeding a Porsche car low grade gas. I mean, that's just an analogy that I'm gonna use for it. I told the nurse in the hospital that I said, I'm vegan. And, or I wouldn't say that. No. I don't think I told the nurse that, but the nurse was in the room. I told the cops, I said, I'm vegan. Or it may have been when she was trying to feed me the turkey sandwich, I said I'm vegan. And so she had apple juice and I drank the apple juice she had orange juice because I was thirsty. I was dehydrated. The water wouldn't stay down, but anyway, after I was hooked to after that, it was kind of like she was still trying to feed me the turkey sandwich. Or it may have been that I spoke about being vegan to the cops that were there with me, and the nurses didn't, they still brought a turkey sandwich, and the cops didn't, speak up for me, and it was just like, anyway, however it happened, I felt as if I was unheard because I said it in front of hospital staff and the cops. And I know that I was heard because it was on the paperwork that they gave back to the correctional officers at the jail. And so after that, I started thinking about it in a different way, because prior to me leaving and going to prior to me going to jail, at home I was experiencing family members, saying that they were showing like concern, and it was odd because I was like, I think I didn't see how much weight I had lost. I didn't see that I was so slim, but I felt so healthy. So for me, it didn't feel like a negative thing, but to them, they were viewing it as a negative thing because they were saying, "Oh wow, he had lost over 100 pounds." I was at one point 252 pounds, and then 138 pounds while I was in jail, and they weighed me, and that's how I knew how much I weighed. So in jail, I realized that maybe God was trying to test me in that experience, but not even test me, but to show me that I was, I could be just as healthy eating meat as I was eating plant-based food. And so after maybe like almost a month or more, no, I think at this point it was 2 months, I started back eating meat again. And like I had said, I keep hearing end. End is like, that was like the end of a cycle. And so at that point I realized I started back eating meat. So now I'm at a place now where it just seemed like it was more of I allowed myself to be with the flow of the experience that I was having. Anyway, I started back eating meat in jail. And to make a long story short, that's how it happened. Now I have some Polynesian sauce. As y'all seen last time I had Polynesian sauce, I got Polynesian sauce. And here are the vegan nuggets. And I fried these also. That's why they're a little darker. Honestly, the vegan nuggets are so good to me. Because I was eating them for so long, I used to be eating vegan chicken nuggets and fries like all the time when I, was vegan and moved back to Newberry and things like that. And of course, that is a real chicken nugget. And so, with the real chicken nuggets is more juicier. But to me, there's not like this huge taste difference. But I think maybe to a person that eats meat regularly, they would be able to taste the difference. Now, to explain the numerology things that I said that I was going to explain, I angel numbers is something that I'm also awakened to because I made a video about awakening that will probably be released when this video after this video will be released. But anyway, angel numbers is something that I started seeing probably in the year, or probably I became aware of these angel numbers in the year of 2018 or 17, 2018 probably. And I also spoke about how when I spoke about my twin flame in the other video about how I awakened, but the numbers that I received were 1111, and there were numbers like 44, there was numbers like 444. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of share you like with the angel numbers, but these angel numbers also help me to understand numerology in a way. And so when I receive numbers, I often reduce the numbers to allow me a sign. I think that every medium, when they receive certain signs, it means something specific to them. And it may mean something specific to another medium. Like, they don't always have to mean the same thing for every medium. Like, for example, Tabitha Brown, who is a influencer for vegan food, she said that the number 8 meant completion. And I'm sure that's what she said. It meant completion. The number 8 did for her. But for me, the number 8 means abundance. And the number 10 means completion. So a lot of times when I receive numbers like 1 or 10, it can mean like, the number 1 usually means like wholeness or complete. Like, it's just 1, like wholeness. When I see something that can be reduced to 1, it means wholeness or complete or stillness. It can mean that stillness is needed. And so, for example, if I see something of a food product that has something like a 1 on it, like this, of course, is vegan mayo. It has 70 on it. So that means a specific sign for me also. But if I would see food and it would have a certain number on it, and usually these foods are often processed foods, if they have numbers on it that tell me to allow it to stay there, I would be like, okay, well, I'm just not going to eat it. Sometimes I can receive signs through my clairvoyance. And for you that do not know, clairvoyance is the ability to clearly see. So that means basically like how you know that So Raven would have visions of certain things. This would be something similar. I would have a message that's sent from the divine to me through my clairvoyance to maybe allow that to stay where it's at. And so a lot of times, and you know what, it's not always that the food would be bad health wise. It could sometimes be that it wasn't right for it there. How can I explain this? Because this is kind of difficult to explain. sometimes there would be a reason for me not to get the food because maybe I would need something different for someone else. I guess you can say. Like, or I can use this analogy. Say if I have something at home, like say if I'm looking for ketchup, right? In the store, but I already have ketchup at the house, sometimes I can receive signs to leave a certain product where it's set because I have it at home. So sometimes it can be that way that I receive the sign. Let me turn back on the music because y'all probably like, turn back on the music. So yeah. But right now, I'm basically a forum. But yeah, you guys, that's why I started back eating meat. But I realized that my, I wouldn't say my, I can tell that there's been a difference in my health since I've started back eating meat. And that was the reason that I went plant-based. But I think now that you just have to find the balance in eating food. Like you can find happiness in life with not you can find happiness in life with the balance of eating foods that make you feel good, eating to be happy. And there's this specific saying that eat to live, don't live to eat. That's what the big bad people need to know. That's what everybody needs to know. But I think that, yeah, you have to eat to live, don't live to eat. Um, Now, the vegan nuggets, they have a chicken like texture to them, but at first I said, oh, they kind of taste the same, but of course, since it's plant-based meat, it does have a different taste. But I think the taste is actually coming from the outside of the chicken nugget versus the inside of the chicken nugget. So she went to the flooring experts at LL Flooring, and it was as easy as one. Because the inside of the vegan chicken nugget tastes very kind of like almost chicken textured. But I am going to save these chicken nuggets for later. Yeah. Let's talk about some health things actually. I noticed that when I was sleeping that I was starting to feel tingling in certain parts of my body, either like sleeping on it or things like that. And that can be a sign for the diabetes. And girl, I think that that's kind of like also a sign for me to, pay attention to my health and things like that. Because I am getting older. It would be different, when you're younger, your body processes food kind of different, So, even with eating food in moderation and things like that, that can help. So, I'm going to be doing a focus on that. But I still do kind of want some ice cream, so I'm probably going to be eating some ice cream. Mind yourself, how mind yourself. Not really, no. But I may eat a little bit of ice cream. Someone told me to get that plant-based ice cream when I was in the store, but I may be shifting back to plant-based food soon, which I've been trying to for a while. But we'll see. I'm not gonna make any promises because a bitch been loving meat, but I also have to do what's best for my health. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, like the video. comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And with that being said, toodaloo, I love you.